Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, Illusion finally found a guinea pig for all of her experiments. I would say a willing test subject, but to be honest, I don't think Honeydew really realizes what he's in for. She's trying to study the long-term effects of these wounds, the wounds that they receive specifically from the leeches in the water. And since he does have the water body, he was perfect for the job. The only problem is, he is very, very hard at sitting still. So despite all of her efforts, licking his wounds, he is very likely to just squirm straight into the jungle, trying desperately to find a way to cool himself down. Thanks to his water body too, he isn't actually very resistant to the heat. So I think he would want to find a cooler place to relax. Assuming that he isn't running straight into any carnivorous plants. That's one of the many things that Illusion is going to have to watch out for. But since we do have this patch of mud over here, maybe this would be enough to cool him down. This is what would typically allow us to sneak around the smelling ape, which will be important if any of them spawn out here. But luckily we only have this one ape to deal with right now. And you guys are actually getting very close to the end of your journey. We just want to lead the ape over to this side of the island, where these other mountain ports are waiting. So I guess this is going to be some of your very last turns, though it's also some of their very last days too. Ironically, Wolfsbane and Truffle are actually the very same age, and I know without a doubt that they have bonded very, very well. It makes me wonder if maybe they want to start a family, but they're just a little bit too afraid to. Because naturally, that would put their baby right in the ape's crosshairs. Not to mention, I'm not really sure if Truffle would be willing to give up the mission, because she would have to go sneaking into the jungles if she wants to keep her baby safe. So I think the only way that we could convince her that this is the right decision is if she knows that her baby is going to take up the mission after her. Maybe Wolfsbane is a little bit worried that nobody will continue their legacy. Maybe he's worried that the tribe is going to get swallowed up by apes if nobody is around to protect them from the shadows. Their story isn't often spoken about in the main portion of the tribe, but honestly it might be one of the most important to their survival. If not for them, the apes would have very likely destroyed our royal babies. So let's see if we can set up a baby between them that would be super healthy, and also super helpful against the apes. I think we'll want to make sure that Truffle's looks are preserved, since she has the dark-colored fur and the spots. So we really want to see another little mushroom growing in the nest. Let's make sure that we put the spots on Wolfsbane's mutation menu, and then I suppose we could always try to pull those big ears out of their traits too. I guess that's the one area where they're lacking right now. Wolfsbane has the big nose so we can smell deep into the grasses, but they can't hear as well as some of their tribe mates. So let's see if we can pull that out of their genetics next. And as for Truffle, I'm actually thinking that we're going to put the stinky tail into both of her slots, just because I really want to see that get preserved on their babies too. The stinky tail should protect them from those smelling apes that I mentioned before. So we'll see if we can possibly weasel that out of their baby. So Wolfsbane is going to request that Truffle starts making her way deeper into the jungles. We'll just have to be very mindful about what's around here. What? Oh my gosh. Oh, Truffle. Oh, she is going to get hit by that ape, isn't she? Oh, there's no way you could have known, Wolfsbane. This is terrible. Oh, her hiding, her camouflage is not going to help her against that ape. She is going to have to run so fast, if she even survives this. Oh no, that is terrible. Oh, I don't think they're going to be able to preserve their legacy after all. If she gets hit, then she is definitely done, with only 3 days left. That is going to be the worst way to end their story. I guess we can just cross our fingers that maybe the ape hasn't noticed, but I will be super surprised if that's the case. Oh, Illusion, you are going to have to really get to work on your healing powers. Let's have her chase after Honeydew. Don't get too close to that plant, but don't let him out of your sight. You're learning by now what a tough little worm he is to wrangle. She's probably thinking that Leaf never would have caused her this much trouble. And I wonder if maybe she's wondering where he disappeared to. She probably doesn't even realize that he's been following desperately in her shadow. Now she's gone again and he's all alone on the shores, without any little fish to gather up. So maybe Citrus would turn his attention to Leaf and ask if he could help him out with that bunny situation. We know that there were a few bunnies hopping around these parts, but Sunrose's parents were a little bit too preoccupied to go chasing after it. So maybe Citrus has noticed that Big Claw of his, and he wants to know if he would be interested in doing a spot of hunting. Of course, Leaf is always up to help. He is the very helpful sort. He just wants to make a good contribution to the tribe, so he would be more than willing to lend his claws to Citrus's cause. I suppose for now we could have him just pick up the stinky fruits, since the smelling ape is way over on the other side of the island. Oh my gosh, I'm still so upset about that. I guess you're going to be fine to pick those fruits without worry. And Moonflower as well. At least she has her little brother Snapdragon right by her side, so he can lick off all of those stinky juices. And I believe that just leaves us with our royal family way over in the middle of the island. Rihanna is definitely going to have to try to knock little Dagger into the water too. He is a bit preoccupied at the moment, because Harp has made her way into the tribe as well. With all of her songs, with her love for these strange little fruits inside the carnivorous plant. She is a very unique individual, especially to Dagger's family. So he's been very interested in getting to know her, but his mother would really prefer that he spends his time in the water, where he can go searching for fish for his father. Slip, on the other hand, he loves the water. He can't get enough of swimming. He was also booted into the lake by his mother before, but he has found this to be his very favorite pastime. So let's see if he can light up any little fish for his father to gather up. I suppose we could always follow the stream straight down to the bottom of the island. That way her family could cross paths with Rila's family, and they can finally have their confrontation. But it looks as if most of the fish have unfortunately disappeared. They're going off in search of our bleeding creatures. Well, we're going to have to make sure that little Honeydew doesn't get too close to the stream either, because I'm very sure that the piranha could find him that way too. So for now, Rihanna, go ahead and clear out this grass for us. I don't think that she's going to try to abandon Harp. She's not too happy that she's distracting her sons from their mission, but she'll allow her to follow, as long as she keeps those songs to a minimum, very quiet in their shadow, as to not distract her family any longer. But despite the fact that we have another little royal baby being born, we need to go back here. We need to go back and see if Truffle's going to be okay, if she's going to be able to have her baby. Oh my gosh. Oh my heart. Oh, the ape actually left her alone. How on earth did you sneak your way right past the ape? Oh my goodness, was he being repelled by Wolfsbane's big stinky tail? I'm not sure what else it could have possibly been, but at least our big-eyed ape is following you too. So we just have to get Truffle into the grass somewhere, so she'll be well hidden, away from the big-eyed ape's sight. And we'll have to make sure that Wolfsbane is still leading him deep into the jungle, especially now that this guy seems to have turned his back on us. Seriously, I don't know how on earth you did it, Truffle, but you are seriously talented. Let's see if she can go down here. If she can just worm her way into this grass, I think she should be fine. And I think Wolfsbane is going to have to help her out for a moment. Maybe if she sits here. Oh my gosh. Oh, you are giving me a heart attack today. You are so lucky, Truffle. Well, go ahead and build your nest because I think this is probably as good as it's going to get. And then we'll see how far away we can bring Wolfsbane. See, he should be fine from the smelling ape. At least with that stinky tail, we know that he's not going to turn your way. So even if you go closer to him, you should be fine. We just have to make sure that you're set up about 5 tiles away. So let's scoot you on over here, and then from there you can jump into the tide pools. And I think you should be in the perfect location. Fingers crossed anyways. Oh my gosh, I really hope their baby is going to be well protected from the apes as well. If they don't have the right set of genes, then they are seriously going to be in trouble. Oh, and it looks like our plans may not have worked after all. It looks like their last baby didn't inherit that bird beak either. So I guess Solaris wasn't too pleased with the promise of acorn caps. Takir wasn't able to pick them up yet. He was going to offer them up to Solaris in exchange for his siblings' good fortune. But you have to lay out the offering before you can expect Solaris to do any work for you. I suppose that does make sense. That being said, this baby does have super cute stripes. He actually looks like a little white tiger with those light-colored stripes and the white fur. It's not going to help him sneak around very much in the jungles. That white fur is going to be just like another one of our beacons. But he's going to try his best nonetheless. So little Rovanu will make a wonderful addition to the bluebird family. And hopefully in the future, they can put all of their father's stories to good use, so they can finally take to the skies too. Now how is it that carnivorous plant doing back there? Alright, it looks like it grew back in a very hostile manner again, so we're going to have to be careful. Let's go ahead and gather up our broken nest and clear out this grass too. That way there won't be any surprises. We'll know not to step down in that tile if we don't want to get our creatures all gobbled up. Rila, I suppose, can scoot on over here to gather up the rest of her nests. Maybe for now she should just pick the berries, so her babies will have something to eat, because I think they might appreciate that a little bit more. We can have Lana take her first steps out of the nest too, and thanks to her stripes, she should be just as good at blending in with the jungle scenery. And then you guys can get to work, picking up those stinky fruits and licking away the juices. Oh yeah, it takes 2 of those licking actions to get rid of all of the juices, so we'll have to be mindful of that in the future too, just in case we run into any more surprises along the way. Actually, the smelling ape was really close to the stream. Is that going to put our royal family right in his sights? Ooh, it actually might. So they're going to have to take this stream instead if they don't want to run straight into him. And even then, if this ape decides to keep going across this island, he might end up reaching our tribe after all. So we're going to have to watch him very, very closely. Oh, you made another little crabbit friend? Well, at least somebody enjoys your singing. I'm going to let you pick up each and every last one of these little fruits, because I don't think we're going to return to this area once we leave. So Harp can be in charge of picking up the last of our food, while our babies try their best to scoop up the piranhas. But I think they're actually going to have to leave that to their father. He's the one who's the best at grabbing them. So Slip instead could start carving a pathway this way, down the correct stream, so we don't end up falling straight into the ape's trap. Oh, Haunt, are you okay? Oh, it looks like this tile right here is actually a waterfall. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, he's having trouble swimming. Maybe he's been in there for too long and he just needs a little bit of time to relax. But it looks like you guys might actually have a mole to collect over here. So maybe this is something that can put Honeydew's mind at ease. After we have Illusion lick his wounds, and after we roll him around in the mud for a little while, that way he can be nice and cool. we'll have him scoot on over to the mole and see if he can pick that up too. I suppose first we'll want Citrus to maybe pick up one of the stinky fruits. That way we know that this guy isn't watching us. We can scoot into the grass, slap him from behind, and then maybe Illusion wouldn't mind picking up the meat for you, because I'm sure she's feeling a little peckish too. Oh, and Citrus, it looks like the bunnies are back. Well, this might be the perfect time for Leaf to swoop in. Though to be honest, you could probably just grab it from your location. Oh, I forgot. You do have that lean body. That's why you needed a Leaf to take care of this, huh? The poor guy, he's trying his best, but he's not going to be able to impress his daughter that way. I guess we'll have her stay in the nest for now, because I don't want her drawing any unwanted attention with all of that debris. So you can just keep feeding her the stinky fruits, and Leaf will try his best to defend your land from the bunnies on the next turn. But I think we might be all out of energy now. So that means the moment of truth has come. Let's see what Truffle's baby is going to look like, and let's cross our fingers that neither of the apes notice that a new little baby has been born. Oh no! Oh, the big-nosed ape is right next to you. I mean, your baby does have the stinky tail, so at least he should be okay. But he is also sick. That was the one problem with this pairing. They did both have Immunity Gene F, but I figured it was worth a shot. It was worth the risk to make sure that their legacy could be preserved. Oh, he is so cute though. I love the color of his fur. He makes for a good, soft little mushroom boy. Hopefully he won't be too soft though. Hopefully he'll be able to survive this attack, because I do believe that he's going to be spending one day all on his own. Unless we can bring somebody down there to help him out. Unless somebody senses that a baby's in danger. I mean, to be honest, with the apes so close to them right now, and with the fact that we can't actually move poor little Duke-Nu, I'm not sure if he's going to be protected from the ape's attack. I'm not sure if Truffle is going to take it for him. Well, let's pack up your nest. Maybe open up the meat-eating plant and grab some fruits too. That way your baby will at least have something to eat. And Wolfsbane, this is your last chance to lead this ape as far away as possible. I guess in some strange way these two were doing the ape a service, because now at least he has a friend to keep him company all the way out here. But I did notice that there was a berry bush. So why don't we have a Wolfsbane scoot on over in this direction, so he can swipe this thing down, and just get us that little bit of extra food as he's leading the ape toward these boards. You know, you guys can always leave for a different island. We wouldn't mind at all. Imagine showing up on the mountain only to find two big apes looming over your tribe. Granted, they probably wouldn't last very long, since I'm sure they're not built for the cold. But who do you think would sense that one of their babies is in trouble? I suppose Snapdragon would be the best one to take, simply because he's so fast. So he might still be able to scoot his way into this darkness, as long as we have somebody light up his way. Do you think maybe Rarasi could help us out? She does have the toxic body, so she should be safe from the big-eyed ape's attacks. Not from the smelling ape, unfortunately, but we don't have many stinky tails to work with over here, so I think that's what we're going to do. Perhaps Solaris has been by to spread his messages after all, now that he's here for his acorn caps, and he's put a vision into Rarasi's mind of a sweet, shy, pink little baby far off in the grasses. Since she is actually the closest to Adam, what with that bright, toxic orange fur of hers, maybe that's why Solaris chose her. So she can call out to the rest of the tribe, to her family, and to the creatures in the tide pools, that she needs somebody to help run this mission. This rescue mission. So Snapdragon, being so very nimble on his feet, would be the first one to go charging off into the grasses. It won't be very easy to tear their way through these weeds, In fact, I suppose they might even need an extra hand. We can scoot little Rovanu over here for now. I think he'll be fine. We haven't actually seen any bluebirds on this island, so it's not as if any of our babies are going to get scooped away into the skies. The only thing they really have to worry about are those pesky, pesky apes. Let's have Arila jump in this way. I really wish we had made more pathways for our creatures, but at least Lana can cut down the weeds with her big Barina claw. Now it should be far easier for them to make their way to the shore. We can even have Arila light up the way straight from the beach itself, so Snapdragon can get as far as possible. I think he should be fine right about here. That's not another one of those waterfall tiles, right? Now that poor Haunt has gotten himself in trouble, I am a little bit concerned, but it looks like he's going to be okay. And Rarasi is going to follow right in his shadow as we bring little Rila back to watch after the babies. And fingers crossed this rescue mission is going to work. Let's make sure that Truffle names her baby too. Something strong and mighty to shield him during this very dangerous situation. We're going to call him Lionheart. I feel like that kind of goes along with his father's name in a way, Wolfsbane. It's almost like the opposite, Lionheart and Wolfsbane. So maybe in a way Truffle is honoring his memory too, since she doesn't know what happened to him after he left. So all of that has kind of shaken around our plans a little bit, but it hasn't messed with Illusion's experiments one bit. We can go ahead and lick his wounds again, and then maybe he can find something else to keep him occupied around here. If he could find some roots to dig up, then that would be a good way to collect some extra food. But it seems as if this area is rather bare, so he's going to have to make do with the little berries for now. I suppose you could always clear out the grass for us. Make yourself a little escape route, so you can run when Illusion isn't looking. The one thing I'm learning here is that the jungle is really not for the faint of heart. It makes me a little bit worried about what we're going to meet when we go on these ports, since it should be an even tougher jungle. So we'll just have to cross our fingers that we're ready, I guess. But I think I saw another little bunny scooting around the stinky fruit tree. For some reason, they always seem to be quite interested in stealing these fruits for themselves. They can't quite reach them because they're a little bit too high, but they're always hanging around our creatures, as if they want to lick the juices off of their fur too. Maybe it is a delicacy in Bunny Kingdom. But let's have Chakir keep picking up his acorns, I suppose. Now that he knows that his offering actually worked, and it did attract Solaris' attention after all, he knows that he's going to have to keep up his end of the bargain and keep giving our winged messenger all of the caps that he could ever want. You better follow after this family if you don't want to get left behind, Harp. And speaking of which, is Haunt okay? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so we only took that 1 day's worth of damage, and now at least he can warn his family not to settle down on that particular tile. Let's have Dagger pick up some of the grass on the shore. That way his mother should be able to navigate. Maybe? I guess you'll have to light up the way for her instead. Well, she must be regretting knocking you into the water now, huh? And poor little Harp, late as always. I guess she could always just cross the water entirely and follow right along the shore. As long as there aren't any carnivorous fruits to block her path, that would end with her getting swallowed up. You know, Slip, it would be really helpful if you could scare these fish straight into your father's claws. Let's see if he can set up right here, because that should give him a pretty good scope of the area. So any little piranha fish that scoot past him are going to go straight into his mouth. Luckily, the carnivorous plant is far enough away that we won't have to worry about getting gobbled up. Oh, and not only that, but you could actually have your father grab this healing fruit right from the safety of the stream, so no one will even know. You guys are going to be very, very sneaky. Now, I guess we're ready to skip the day one last time and see what fate is going to befall our little baby. If he's going to be okay, We know that both of his parents are going to pass, so now he's going to be all on his own. Oh, you poor thing. I think the ape attacked his mother right before she passed, and then just left him in the shadows. Oh, that is so sad. Thank goodness for that stinky tail. Thank goodness we placed that into Truffle's mutation menu, or else he would have been a complete goner. So now you're all on your own, little guy, but help is on the way. We have little Rarasi, as tired as she is with her toxic body, and we have Snapdragon, who is more than willing to jump into those shadows and pull you out safely. The jungle is so stressful. But in the next episode, hopefully we'll be able to rescue our little baby and bring him back to the rest of the tribe, so we can figure out what our next plan of attack is going to be. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!